Over beats, baby.
Work hard, play hard. What we just did?
Man, we just started something.
What we just did, bro?
We just started something.
Multi-platinum, bad boy, hitman, record producer. Ammadeus.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, man. Hey, thanks for being here. Hey.
I'm looking for Ammadeus the King. Platinum boy music, what up?
Oh, man.
You see what it is, baby?
Oh, man. See that right? Turn around. I love it.
What's up, baby?
I'm still waiting for chocolate.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's another amazing episode of BAR TV. I got my girl Tish here.
Yes, you do. Hey, Mel.
Hola!
And who is our special guest?
We have a brilliant and resilient guest.
Wow.
An
Yes.
amazing guest right here by the name of Ammadeus.
Yes, if we go through everything he is, it's going to take forever. But let me give you a few. He's a producer, super producer. He's a composer. He's a writer. He is a musical director. He is a drummer. He is everything. If it's music, he is it.
An educator also.
Yes, on top of all of that.
What, did we miss anything?
Did very well.
I'm
Did very
sure
well.
he's a king. You got
He's a king. No,
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah,
definitely a king. And I'm so honored to have him here. And not only to have him here, but hold on. When he contacted us, he was probably the most humble email that I have ever come across.
Right.
Asking to be on BAR TV. And I'm like, you're asking? And he's over
the
here.
most credentials.
Yes, with the most credentials. And he asked the most respectfully, humbly, and lovingly, like, I would be honored to be on your show. This is who I am. This is what I've done. Bio, like everything he has done for years, years
And
down.
then she tells me, and I'm like, that is my friend's brother, and he's awesome. And you're like, seriously? And I'm like, yes, everything
Small
is real.
world,
And I was
man.
telling her some of the things that I know that you've done.
Right,
and she
right,
was
right.
like, yeah, he didn't even mention that. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah,
Right, and I
so
thought
dope.
he mentioned everything, but I really loved how articulate that email was. You know, they say that the first contact you make with someone is the most impacting. And
Absolutely.
you made me feel like I was Michelle Obama at that moment. And I'm opening this email to see that this man is telling me why he feels he's brilliant and resilient. So he knew he qualified for BAR TV.
Absolutely.
With that said, I would love for you to just, give them a full introduction and welcome them there.
Well, first, thank you for having me, Queens. I appreciate it. That was a great introduction, though, by the way.
Thank you.
It was easy. You made it really
email
easy.
was like, whoa. I was like, whoa. Okay. I knew everything in that second about him.
Right.
It's about being humble. I think oftentimes people work and accomplish things and then just expect to be somewhere, or expect that people, will know them. Know who they are, know what they've done, and just say yes. And it's like, nah, I get no's, believe it or not. And so I come in humble because you just never know. So
I love
I'm
that
appreciative
about
that you
you.
guys have me on the show. You guys have been doing amazing things,
Thank you.
and I just wanted to be a part of that. You know what I mean? So
And you are.
Thank you for
Now,
having me.
this
But
is a beginning.
That was I don't know what else to say. You guys introduced
I'm just
me
saying.
perfectly.
Well, no, let's go
know?
back to those bullet points that she listed, Tish. Let's tackle them one by
Yes.
one because
Man.
if you don't know who Ammadeus is, you're going to know by the end of this show.
Yes, you will.
Absolutely.
Yes,
So
you will.
definitely hit up the first. No, we'll start at the last one. Educator.
Yes.
Because I love that the most out of everything. Of course, I love that you're on tour. You've worked with every single we'll get into which ones you would like to work with, but it
Okay.
seems like you have worked with every single
Yes.
celebrity that there is. When
Try, yeah.
you know, celebrityism, but that's not what qualifies you for Bar TV. It is the brilliant side,
Thank
and
you,
I
guys.
definitely love that educator part.
Thank
so
you.
let them know how you're educating.
You know, I've been in the business for 18 years plus, and it's been a lot of ups and downs, a tough journey. A lot of things have changed. And just when I think back to when I first started, no one really sat me down and says, here's the do's and the don'ts.
Okay.
Here's what you should avoid. Try this, try that. And I kind of wanted to be the opposite of that. I wanted to, you know, school people on the music business, the behind the scenes, what you need to do, what you don't need to do. It's like, if I went through something, why allow someone that's coming up next and in the future to go through the same things that I went through? I think that's whack. You know, I think that's a lot of that is due to intimidation. I'm not intimidated by anything or anyone. It's space for everyone. It's opportunity for everyone. No opportunity runs out. No money runs out.
Right.
You know, there's always a look. So that was kind of the idea behind, you know, creating and teaching. And besides the teaching part, I'm from the Bronx, 169th. I'm from the Jacks. I'm from, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from where they say we can't do what I'm doing.
Facts.
You know,
Right.
so with that being said, I like to, you know, really push people and encourage people to chase their dreams and to use their environment and where they're from and their challenges,
Beautiful.
you know, to push them in the direction of them living their dreams and living what they're most passionate about. You know, so I've always been doing that. I would be on tour with Trey songs and being in the city, and I'm like, is there school nearby? And if they allow me to come, you know, speak to the students and encourage them and push them and just show them, like, I'm no different from you. We're the same.
Yeah.
We bleed the same. We cry. We have the same struggles. You guys probably have more, you know, challenges and struggles living in this new time. You know, I'm a little older than them. So I just want to be there for people. I want to be, you know, a light. You know,
And you are.
You know, a light. You know,
You are.
He's a light, a
absolutely.
beacon of light.
Thank you, guys.
That is refreshing to say that basically when he goes out to them cities on tours, he's not just going to be the celebrity
Right.
drummer, we'll get into the director part of the tour, nothing like that, but he's going to
Share.
leave an imprint on the city in a positive way
Right.
so that he can birth greatness into the future, people that go through the path that he has already been through.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Thank
and
you,
it's so
guys.
selfless. That's truly a blessing.
Thank you.
Another thing that struck me was just listening to your credentials first. I was like, he had to get this from church because
Yeah.
to be that
Right.
soulful, to be a director, to compose the music that you had,
And
even
still be humble.
ESPN.
yeah.
I listened. I watched First Take
Right.
all the time with my
Yeah.
husband, and that Wale
show, yeah.
was so dope. So to read that, I'm like, no way. So tell us
Yeah.
about your church influence also.
I'm glad you mentioned that big influence. Big,
Oh my
big.
gosh, I think that's amazing.
You know, been in church all my life, and I feel like that's the foundation of who I am as a man, as a person.
and it keeps you grounded.
Absolutely. And I you know, it got on my nerves when every Sunday, and not just Sundays
Long.
now, you know, Tuesday night
Bible
prayer.
study.
Yes.
Wednesday night prayer.
Wednesday night choir rehearsal.
Yes.
Friday night service. It's like Friday night, man. Like, why am I,
Are
like,
you serious?
Right, I
Right.
know.
You
I
know,
remember
but-
one time I got up at 5 a.m. for a service.
Yes.
Because when God says move, you
Absolutely.
You move.
You
I
know?
love that. So you
it-
believe in
it-
God.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. That's, you know, that's who blessed me with my gifts and talents that I have.
Absolutely.
That I'm able to share with the world. And, you know, it's just about knowing where it comes from. And when you recognize where it comes from, and that's God, and you can appreciate it more, and it humbles you because it's not really you. It's like Him moving through you with your
Exactly.
gift.
Vessel.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So there's definitely the foundation. What has sustained me thus far on this musical journey. The music business is a lot of politics, a lot of negativity. There's just a lot, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, you hear about in entertainment, just in entertainment general, you hear about suicides, you hear about drugs, you hear about
Yes.
you know, people doing negative things and falling and ruining their careers.
Right.
And it's based off of not having that trust in that relationship and that belief, you know, with God. And not saying that you can't do those things, because you can, because we're only
Right.
human.
Right.
But the way to bounce back is
Right.
just that faith, is that spirituality. So
Faith.
that's, you know, and I'll say this, you know, I'm far from perfect. Because when you speak spirituality, especially in the world that
They
we
put
live
you
in
in a
today. It's like,
category.
oh,
They're
so
like,
he
oh, you
thinks.
think you're a saint.
No,
Right.
man.
No,
I
man.
messed up. I messed
Yes.
up. I messed up. I messed up. I messed up. I messed up.
Right.
You know, so if you
And
out
God
there,
forgives us
tell
every
it.
single day.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Every
So I'm glad you
day.
asked that question. Yeah,
Yes.
that's a great question.
So we're definitely gonna we're gonna make him name drop because I
Oh,
get
man.
it. Melanie is like, listen, that doesn't matter, but
Wait
it
a
does
second.
because you know where we at. But we're gonna take a break really quickly,
We'll be
and then
right
we're gonna
back, guys.
be right back with some names.
Right here. He getting too much money out here.
Oh, it's a video?
You know what I'm saying? It's a
He's
video.
talking about me?
Hey, yo.
No, he's talking about himself.
Nah.
No. This is the king right here, all right? He's getting too much money. He's producing them hits.
Trey Songz, music director. He's worked with everybody from French Montana to J-Lo, to 50 Cent, to Chris Brown,
He's producing them hits.
to Young Jeezy, to Tiger, to Justin Bieber, to Busta Rhymes, to Keisha Cole, to Wale.
He's producing them hits.
He's worked with EA Sports and ESPN, to VH1, to Burger King, to Sprite, to BET, to MTV.
You know what time it is. We stay humble, we stay working over here. Platinum Boy Music.
The one and only
Facts.
Ammadeus!
Now all y'all walk away from me.
So like I said, I was gonna make Ammadeus over
Oh,
here name
man.
drop a little bit. You know, it's not bragging. It's,
Right, it's
just
just what it
letting
is, yeah.
people know
It's
where
hard
you
work.
come from and
Right.
you work hard that you can get to where people think is
And you can say,
ungettable.
I've
That's
done
the
this
word.
and
exactly.
I've done that. But
Right.
hold on, before we go into
Uh-oh.
the name drop and the resume of all the great people he has worked with, I just want to touch one last thing back to the last topic we were talking about, which was God. Have you ever found yourself in, or I'm sure you have, I know the answer, but explain to the people if you've ever found yourself in a dark place where your faith was very, very tested and like you were probably holding on to the little last string of faith.
Right.
How did you get through and share that story?
Great moment. I mean, those moments happen, you know, a lot.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. Like I said, it's a tough business. It's a lot of people chasing the same thing, chasing the same dream, chasing the same opportunities. And sometimes, you doubt yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you doubt yourself. Things might not be happening as fast as you would want them to happen.
Yeah.
Things might not be happening at all. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, man, I know I'm talented. I know what I have. I know what's in me. I know the talent and the gift that I possess. And you look over there and you're like, I know he or she. Is, you know, you get in that moment where you're like, I know that person is not seeing me musically, but
Right.
they might be at a higher level at that moment. But,
Right.
you know, and that's okay.
Right.
And it's okay. And it's like I'm being very transparent. I'm being very real on the show and just
Right.
saying what it is.
Absolutely.
And you have those
Vulnerable.
moments, but then, you know, with prayer and that relationship again,
Right.
you know, you kind of rein yourself back in. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
because I'm not a person to knock anyone that's winning.
Yeah.
Right.
Knock anyone that's hustling, that's winning. It's more so of just understanding timing.
Right.
And understanding that each and every person has their time, has their own situation.
And trusting
And when
that.
God says their time is their time. And it's like, who am I to question him on whether this is my moment or not? You know, so I think it's more so of being ready,
Yep.
staying humble, staying hungry, and continuing to work. And so that when is your time, instead of
ready.
being over there mad and like,
Exactly.
man, you over there, and,
and
it's like,
having to
catch
get
it.
ready, you
it's
stay
like you
ready.
now,
Catch
your
it.
turn, and
Right.
you're like,
You're like, got it.
oh, me right now,
Right.
Yes.
You know, so it's like channel
Yes.
your energy into hustling and being ready and being hungry, so that when your moment comes, you're not stuck over there watching the other person being mad that they winning.
You're focused.
It's like, oh, it's
You're
my
paying
turn, God.
attention,
Shout out
and
to
you
them.
can step up.
Congratulations. I'm ready for mine.
Right.
You know.
Absolutely.
I love that. Okay.
So with that being
Now we can
said,
get into
Oh,
the
man.
list of
Right.
amazing-
All that humble talking.
No,
I
no,
got-
no, no. Now we could no.
Squashing the
Now
humble
we can
talk is
talk
over.
about it a little bit.
Now
we
we
can
gonna talk
a lot,
about it.
yeah.
Right.
So tell us,
Man.
who of the brilliant, resilient, and amazing celebrities have you been blessed with the ability to produce for, go on tour
Right.
with,
Direct.
all that?
All right, deep breath.
yeah.
Okay. You know, it's a whole lot easier to say this, but I'm gonna do some listing. I'm gonna get in my bag for a second. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you gotta get in your
my
bag.
bag for a
TV,
second.
You
Yes.
made it.
You know
told
what I
us
mean?
why you brilliant, resilient. You here talk about it.
So I'll start off by saying I've been blessed to produce for over 90 artists.
Okay.
And let's see how many I can remember. I'm not gonna sit here and list
first
all
tell me,
90.
how did you get to that point? What was your breaking point? How were you go from
Introduced to-
the
Right.
person that was birthed from your mother's womb and that was into church into I'm working with a celebrity now. I'm a
Right.
celebrity.
Right.
How did that happen?
And before I say this, man, I really got to give a shout out to my brother Mike. When I came here and was waiting to do the interview, he actually came up to me and he recognized my name when we introduced each other. And he told me the story of how I started.
Wow.
Wow,
And-
Mike
Ain't that something?
Wiles
I've-
on the Urban Music
Yeah.
Report channel. Yes.
So it was a moment for me because, you know, with being in the game for 18 years and kind of always telling the story of how I started and sharing that story with the world, it's different to hear someone tell you the story that was there and witnessed and was a part of the journey. And so that was a moment for me. So shout out to Mike for one, remembering it. This is 18 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But remembering it, remembering me, remembering what I told him, and that was, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be ill. I'm gonna be one of the best producers. And so to now have that credit of saying, yo, I produced for 90 artists. Yo, I've toured the entire world with Trey Songz for 12 years. Like, it's amazing. So just had to mention that. I started, first placement ever was Foxy Brown.
Okay.
She was signed to Def Jam at the time.
Very big deal.
Foxy, yeah. And she was working on the Cradle to the Grave soundtrack and movie, and that was written and produced by DMX.
Yep.
Okay.
Featured Gabrielle Union, Anthony Anderson, Jet Li, Dragon, DMX, of course. So I went and played her some beats. She picked a few out. Next day, I got a phone call. Like, okay, she wrote 2 songs. She wrote a diss record against the rapper Eve.
Okay.
Called Get Off Me. And then she wrote another song called Cradle to the Grave. So it's actually the theme song and a titled song to the soundtrack in the movie. And that was my first placement ever. First ever seeing my name, you know, in the credits on the album. Song is out to the masses, to the world. And actually hearing that actual song in the movie.
Wow.
It played in the movie for 26 seconds. You have to remember.
That's 26. That's a
26
big deal.
seconds.
26
In a movie,
seconds.
26 seconds
Bro,
is like,
look, 90 celebrities later, 18 years later,
I
those
remember
26
clearly.
seconds
It's
counted.
still going.
Every second counted.
You know, so I remember that. I remember, you know, after the movie ended, the credits rolling, and I'm like,
your name.
That's me.
and I'm like telling everybody, I was like, all right, cool.
Okay.
And that soundtrack went on to sell, like, and this was back in the day, so I'm talking about real copies, CDs, cassette tapes. It sold 500,000 copies, and my first placement ever, my first real moment, started out as me being a gold record producer.
Right, because that was gold back then.
Yeah.
500,000.
You know, so that was how I started. And you know, it was kind of a thing where it was a mixture of excitement, right? But then there was a certain level of pressure.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
Of
yo, this is
course,
how you
anxiety.
started, bro. Like,
Right.
Now you
what
set
you doing
you
next?
set the bar high for yourself,
Yes.
so you got to keep
you
on
know,
with the greatness.
So 18 years later, man, J-Lo, French Montana, Chris Brown, Trey Songz, CeeLo Green, Keisha Cole, ESPN, Sprite, First Take, Wale, Stolly, Busta Rhymes, Papoose, Remy Ma,
Oh, my
Marcus
goodness.
Houston,
Let's go.
Dipset, G-Unit, 50, Lil Wayne, Jeezy, Cameron, T.I., Young and May.
Wow.
Yeah. That's all I can remember at this moment.
Right.
He don't
You know.
don't take it personal if he left you out. We got him under pressure.
Foxy,
Right.
look, Foxy,
Foxy.
Little Mo, okay, come back. Mike Jones, Fab,
Wow.
Danny D. Kane, Day 26, Donnie Klang,
Wow.
Justin Bieber,
Whoa.
A little
Yeah.
boy from the Bronx.
little boy from the Bronx. man.
Wow.
The
Yeah.
little boy from church.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh man, it's funny you said that, both of you, because I remember having to walk through, you know, the hood, suited and booted, on a Friday night, being laughed and mocked, like, oh, here comes the church boy. They go to church. Where you going, boy? You going to church? And everybody going to little house parties or going to hang out on the corner.
Right.
And I wanted to
And
do
you
it
was going
so
to
bad,
church.
and moms and dads was like, nah.
And you respected them.
No, I didn't. I mean, I respected them, but I was mad at the decision.
He was mad.
Because I
But
wanted
you
to be
didn't
over
go
there.
behind their back and do it.
Oh, I couldn't do that because my mother was like an owl.
She
She sat at that
Mama
window
was law.
and was like,
Shout out to your
Exactly.
you know,
Must
so,
go.
you know, now as a man, you know, as a king, as a father,
Right.
you know, I can relate.
Right.
And I can honestly say, you know, thank you to my parents because
Thank you.
that saved my life. Church,
Yes.
spirituality, God,
Yes.
music,
Hallelujah.
all
I
of the
love
sacrifice that was
Absolutely.
made, you know, saved my life.
I remember my mom telling me, like, no, you're not going to hang out there. And I'm like, I'm
Just be like,
what? And now I'm like, thank you for not letting me hang out
and
there.
I'm telling my daughter right now, no, you're not. No, leave them people where they at.
Yeah.
You got a whole higher calling on your life, child.
Absolutely.
And I'm here to protect it. So.
That's
Amen.
it.
Woo.
Amen.
I love it.
Yes,
I
yes,
love your
yes.
mom.
Yes.
Oh, I
Yeah.
do.
We have so much more to get into with Ammadeus. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
You know I'm from the BX, man. Driving through Mickey D's. Saw the living legend up here. Grandmaster Flash. Had the opportunity to meet the legend. Came to the Music 101 Flash all day. Appreciate everything you brought to hip hop. You know what I mean? I'm here because he made it possible, you know? So, shout out to Flash, man. One love, BX Boogie.
Every beat he sent me was always different, from this sound to that sound to this sound. So I appreciate Ammadeus. Shout out to him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Amadeus, you the best.
Yeah.
I know, I told him, I'm like, yo, during this interview, I'm just going to FaceTime you. He's like, you're crazy. Just finish the interview.
yeah. He knows his presence is here.
Shouts to Ammadeus.
Ammadeus, what's up, brother? I couldn't make it, but I'm there in spirit.
The legend is in the house.
No. You're the legend. You're the legend, sir.
Backstage in the office. King Ammadeus.
Man right here.
That's my family. I love them so much.
You go bad.
Be nervous what we about to do, man. Bronx all day, Brooklyn.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back and thank you again. This is going to be a big deal for us.
Absolutely.
And I want him to understand it's a big deal for us. And he didn't have to give that whole speech to get onto BAR TV, because as soon as I seen the name, I
okay.
This is a blessing. Let's bring him right on. So, but you mentioned you're a father.
Yes.
How's your child?
I have a 14-year-old boy
Okay.
and a 6-year-old girl.
And how have you juggled parenting in this industry?
Very challenging. But I think it's a blessing that I can say that I have their support.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
they love what you do.
Oh man, yeah. When you go
of
see Chris
right?
Brown and
Yeah.
taking pictures
That's
and
my dad.
backstage
That's my
and
dad.
hanging out with Trey Songz and
Right.
But not just that aspect of them. I guess seeing my happiness and my peace as a father, with me doing what I love to do, is another. I think is a blessing to them as well, because
Absolutely.
it's like not only do I enjoy my journey and what I love to do, but it's how I'm able to provide and care for them. So it's
right.
like Daddy does music in order to take care of me,
And
but
so
he
they
loves it.
understand the times that they can't go on tour and
Absolutely.
you're gone and you have
It's
to be
work.
gone, and then it's
So it's
work
moments
and
though.
back.
Yeah.
It's moments, because they're children, and
They
who
want
wants to
Daddy
see Daddy
home.
leave out the door with suitcases, and and I've always explained to them, and I always say that. When I leave the house, it's like I'm going to work. I'm going to work, but in the jungle.
Right.
And I use that comparison because it's a blessing to return home every day.
Right.
Yes.
Because you just never know.
Well, it's crazy you say that, because for whatever reason, I'm really feeling nostalgic. And I've been listening to Cameron's first album. I don't know
Really?
if you remember. And in the beginning of his first, remember, intros and outros are really
Was
big.
big, was
Even
heavy,
skits,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
in the back of the
interludes,
day.
yes.
And in the beginning of Cameron's first album, he's in the jungle. I think with Lance, I remember, he's pulling him through a jungle. He's like, you want the money, you got to go through. He's like, there's snakes and
Yeah, man.
making metaphoric views and opinions about the music industry, and then he's like, I made it, and then you're here like it's a jungle,
It's
and it
jungle
is
every
because
time
we
you
go
It is
through
a jungle. We go through it. Listen. Mike
Yes.
Wiles knows. I told him about those attacks, so I be almost every day. He's like, calm
It's
down, no
something.
pressure,
Yeah.
no anxiety, relax. And I'm just like, sometimes I'll be like, Tish, you're just not going to believe this. Can you believe this? Oh my gosh. This
So
industry
It's tough.
business is a jungle.
tough.
Yeah,
It's tough.
but it's
That's
worth
good.
it's
I'm
worth
gonna
it.
tell Kiki like that when I go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a jungle out
It's a
here, man.
jungle.
So when mom comes home, wife, you come home and it's like, thank you, God. I
Thank
I
you
think
for
we take
bringing me
stuff
back
like that
home. Thank
for
you
granted.
for bringing us to
Yeah.
a successful,
Yeah.
taping or tour or event or whatever it is that
Exactly.
you're doing.
Because you got to think,
in peace.
every weekend, because I have a residency, and we'll get to that in Vegas. Every weekend I'm on a plane.
That's what I was gonna get into.
Every weekend
too,
I'm 30,000 feet in the air. Depending upon that pilot, depending upon that aircraft.
Right.
Most importantly, God. But at the end of the day, sometimes you have to just be regular. Let's just think regular. Everything all about spirituality. Just think regular. There's
Regular.
two
Sometimes,
pilots up there.
Right?
gotta be
Are
real,
y'all
yeah.
good?
And this aircraft
every week,
Right.
every weekend,
Yeah,
so
sure.
every time I touch down, it's a blessing, and it's a moment where we know you sacrificing each and every day your life I know it's for what you love, but you sacrifice each and every day, each and every weekend in order to provide and to care for us.
Right.
Very
so
true.
I'm grateful of them. Very, like I said, they're so loving, so passionate, and it's important to support your kids in what they love.
Yes.
People. The first thing I get all the time is, are they musicians? Do they love music? And yes, they do. Yes, they do. But I'm like, they have. My son carries my name, Antoine Thompson Jr., and it's like. And I tell him, just because you carry the name doesn't mean
You gotta
be a
the
musician
pressure
or
of
producer.
being-
Like,
No.
do whatever. And
Be
he loves
you.
music. But his dream right now is to be a pilot.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And it's funny because it
And
still
it's funny you're talking
comes
about
around.
the pilot that you're trusting with your life, and he wants to be the pilot.
So imagine that one day,
that.
I'm
How
on
crazy
tour.
is that?
And your
he's
son is
my
your
son.
pilot.
Now
You
you're
know?
going by your own plane because you got your own son.
You know what so
Let's do it.
goals, man.
Right.
Goals. And
That's
that's what goals should be
beautiful.
about life.
Right.
Not about materialistic things or, stuff that don't matter. That should be a goal where it's like, my
Yes.
son can possibly fly me from New York to Dubai or
Exactly.
London or because he wants to
Right.
travel. And I asked him, the other day, I said, because someone asked him, what is it about planes? And he said, I didn't know, right? And then when we left the place that we were at, I challenged him. And I said, you really need to think about that. I said, because she asked you, what is it about planes that you love, and you didn't have an answer. And I said, I want to challenge you to dig deep inside to get that answer out. And as we walked, he said, it's about being free. It's about
knew he
being
was gonna
free.
say that.
It's
I
about I'm up
get
there.
him.
I'm over
I get it.
everything. I can see everything. And it's quiet.
Flying
and
in the
it's,
sky.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Peace.
Yeah.
It's true. When you're
You're
up there with
Probably
the
as
clouds,
close
it's
to
like
God as you can probably
Absolutely.
imagine yourself.
absolutely.
Right.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I love it.
And baby girl, she's dancing and doing all these moves I be trying to emulate. And she wants to be a ballet dancer. And
Nice.
this could be right now.
Right.
It can change, but
Yeah.
if it changes, it's fine.
It's fine.
Because, she's 6, she's 14,
I
and
think
you're
that
finding
all
yourself.
little girls should go through dance at
Yes,
one point or
yes.
another. It builds confidence.
If
I
it-
have
yep.
my daughters in dance right now too,
Awesome.
and I see. Yeah, of course they don't want to do it in front of mom or dad.
Yo, I hate that.
They don't want to do it in front of mom or dad. No, you can't
Right.
record me. Get out of here.
Right.
So on their private time,
They
the
get
best
it poppin'.
dancer you could ever probably imagine is right there.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
I
That's so
definitely have
pretty.
that same type of experience with my child. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, sometimes her dad is like, and I'm like, let this girl be who she's going to be. I am not going to be the reason why she's resentful. Like, my mom
real.
didn't. Nope.
It's real.
You be you. I plant the seeds. I let you know that you're awesome, and you go be awesome.
Absolutely.
And it's a fine line. Because
Yeah.
We are who we are. It's
Right.
like, relax. A
Right.
little, but
Still mom though.
yeah, being who you are is really important to let kids do that because they find their way. They're really smarter than
Absolutely.
probably us.
I agree.
So
So I think that's also so amazing that you have that great relationship
Yes.
with your children.
Yes.
And a lot of people are so busy with whatever we do, not even just being a celebrity takes a lot, but
Just
as
life,
an average
yeah.
person working,
Yeah.
to take the time to still want to listen to your child when they're talking is so important.
I get in
Yeah.
trouble now. I tell you, I get in trouble. Princess
You're
be
not
like,
listening.
I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to. I mean, you gotta put your phone down. You gotta. And I'm like,
My daughter makes me
Yeah.
turn it
Oh,
off.
nah,
No,
man.
we need some time to
Just-
turn it off because I need your whole attention, mom. Right?
yes,
they
right
just give you
now.
that look. We
Yeah.
playing video games, and I pick up the phone. He's like,
What you gonna do with that? That's not a
we
remote
in
control.
this game. You're not about to pause this game right
Right.
now,
Yes.
sir. Get back in the
I
game.
love it.
so and
Yeah,
that's
so-
dope. And it's dope that they
Yep.
can kind of like will you back in because oftentimes you're so busy working and trying to
Working.
accomplish something and not
Yeah.
miss out on any opportunity. And it took me years to learn, like what's for you is for you.
Yes.
Right.
Because you don't balance it out. You're
Yes.
like, hold on, son, hold on, baby. Like, let me. And it's like, and they're waiting, and then you miss out on a moment with them.
Yeah.
Trying to not miss that moment, not knowing that
That's gonna
enjoy
be
this
there for
moment.
you. Yeah.
Because that's going to
That's
develop.
going to be
gonna
there
be
for you
there.
regardless.
You know, so
Exactly.
it's trial and error. It's patience. So for the parents that are out there, we're not perfect.
No.
We have our moments, but it's just
do.
about trying, man.
Absolutely.
Trying and doing the best that you can to balance it out and to
Right.
make sure that, you as a mom, you as a dad, you really give that child that love and attention that they need.
Yes, it's definitely important.